Hey there, Mickey. It's Gen GC here, mate. How you doing? So let's have a look at your defense setup, really. So first thing of note is if you look at your garage, well worth probably looking at upgrading the amount that you can use. I know it's obviously 150 and 175 mil accordingly, but obviously that would be something you'd need to look at. But if you think logically, a player of your level, would you be particularly worried if a Grizzly came out after 16 seconds and caused you any bother? I don't think you would. So you need to start thinking that way. So that really should be probably a couple of e-skims. Get them up to level 15 as soon as you can, and then probably a couple of e-skims and a couple of e-skims. I mean, it's going to be, 10 seconds per, as opposed to 16 seconds before Grizzly come out. And with the type of player that's going to be attacking your level, they're probably not going to be particularly worried about a Grizzly. So really, that should not be there. It's going to do absolutely no purpose whatsoever. So you need to be thinking, when you're attacking a player, what are they using? What's causing you bother? And then think, well, okay, I'll use similar as well. So that really needs to be e-skimmed max. I know you'll probably be working towards that sort of level, and you probably want 2, 2 and 2, or as many as you can, that sort of way. But to try and minimise how quickly that spawn comes out, 16 seconds is a long time. So if you think 21 seconds before your first e-skim comes out, because it's 16 seconds, then 5 seconds for the next level, that's a long time really for waiting for that high power unit. You want that high power unit coming out a lot earlier than that, and certainly doesn't need to be Grizzly. So have a look at that. If you look at your defense here, I'd maybe sort of adjust it so you've maybe got 3 seconds for your first, then 3, and then 4, so they come out real sort of quick succession. I think that would be excellent. You're likely using the right option at this moment in time with that for your air defense, so that'll be absolutely superb with the NEMs. And then if you're looking at defense here, I mean, if you think again a T129 attack in defence probably isn't going to cut it. That really should be probably Reavers all the way across, really. I think that's again something you need to be thinking about. And if you look at that second one there, 40 seconds before, sorry, third one, 40 seconds before, some attacks come out, but attacks just aren't going to be strong enough. So they need to be at least sort of like Super Hinds, ideally, obviously Ravens and things like that. Eventually a Cyrus. So you need to be thinking about your maximum, unit to come out there. And also the quickest possible time. The fact you've got 1, 1 and 2, I think that's acceptable. But you really need that second one to be coming out. Needs to be a higher power helicopter, because attack, it's not strong enough in any way, shape or form. So you really need to think about that. And again, your defence here, you've got Grizzlies, after 16 seconds. I really don't think anybody coming to attack your base is going to be shitting themselves when a Grizzly comes out. Probably more so when the Centurion comes out. But chances are, after 24 seconds, if a player's worried that you're going to be deploying Centurions, they've probably taken you out by that time. And even if they haven't, after that's come out and only one at that, then obviously another 48 seconds later, which is fucking eternity, fucking you'll be taken out by then. You've got 3 Grizzlies coming out. It's just not adequate as a defence strategy, and you really need to be thinking about that, because you wouldn't be worried about it, and if you are, God help you, but that should be 1 cent, 1 cent, 1 cent, at best maybe 1 cent, 1 cent, 2 cents, but certainly that should be all Sentinels that are coming, Centurions rather, that are coming out of your defence there. So that's really where you need to be looking at big time. Okay, good score by the way. So again, at your level, would a Ghost Rider be really where it's at when you've got, your stealth plane, which I forget the name of for a second, Raven, I think, from memory. So really you want to be getting Raven, yeah, I was right. Yeah, really you want to be getting rid of the Ghost Rider there and doubling up your Raven. No reason why you should be using Ghost Rider at your level. So get rid of that. In terms of your attack here, you probably don't need a Centurion in there at all, really, when those are maxed. I mean, your E-skims, I would never use a vehicle in my, kind of attack until it's absolutely maxed, because you probably haven't got the unit that you really need. I generally avoid upgrading any of the sort of first weapons. If a unit's got to be 15, there'll be an extra weapon that's released at level 15. So I don't do any of the other weapons, that would be released at, say, level 1. I wait until I'm level 15, and then I spend all my tech on that sort of unit. So that's kind of what I would look to do there. That really needs to be E-skims all across the board, really. If you need to be using a Centurion, that would suggest you're not using your E-skims properly. You're not moving and whipping them around the map effectively. And regarding, obviously, your defense, so your attack here, really should be using 2 Ravens. As soon as you've got Ravens available to you, you should be using them. If you can't use 2 Ravens yet, if that's the reason behind it, then again you need to be upgrading your platoon and concentrate on that. I mean, it looks like you've got obviously a decent Thor count behind you, a couple of extra events there where you can overcap. Would mean you can obviously get those particular platoon slots upgraded. I suspect this is probably a particular event type platoon. I very much doubt you'll be using that for attack. So I suspect Charlie's just maybe your event unit. So ignore that for now. So yeah, I mean, your attack's good. We know that. I mean, you're probably not deploying enough fobs maybe, so that we could work on that. But 16% defense is, as you know, obviously a bit below par. So this is why, and you can probably tell why now, because if you're looking at what you're using in defense, it's really not going to trouble people at all. And that's obviously where you're obviously struggling a little bit, I would suspect. Do check obviously your NEMs, because if that's one of your main ones that you're using, from memory I think your crew should be all upgraded. Let me just check if I go into mine as a comparison. Yeah, so I'm pretty much maxed on everything except the systems there. So the crew is really going to give you a massive DPS. No need to upgrade the third version of that, because I'm not going to use it in attack. It's purely as a defense. So no point doing that one. But the DPS is obviously where it's absolutely key. So you really want to be thinking about upgrading. Probably didn't technically need to upgrade slot 2 here, to be fair with you. So have a think about getting the crew maxed. Certainly, obviously level 1. Obviously have a think about what obviously you've got on the UAV bomb there. Obviously I haven't done the GBU, as I say. I ignored that until I got to the units to level 15, and then obviously I went for the better weapon, saved myself a lot of weapon tech and things along that sort of, and that's generally how I work it. So always max everything that you've got in defence. So I need to have a little look at that. And then let's have a little scan what else we got. So yeah, don't do any more upgrades on any of those lower obviously end helicopters. That's fine. You've really got the helicopter that you need. So that's all good. And I noticed on your troops, by the way, where did I spot it, that you've been upgrading dragoons. Now a dragoon's all well and good if you're going to do a Valk drop. But if you're not going to use it for a Valk drop, you don't need to upgrade dragoons in any way, shape or form. So I would obviously forget that. What you do need to concentrate on, though, is this Centurion. So your Centurion is probably one of the best defenders for certainly CC10 up to probably CC11. Now, if yours isn't maxed, if you haven't got all these units, maxed out, then obviously your DPS isn't going to be good enough, your health's not going to be good enough, and it's not going to challenge them. And this is why I really think it's key that you have some discipline, because if you're using that as a defense unit, which you should have 3 of them at least, 1, 1 and 1 in your defence, then those should be maxed. If not, obviously it's not a good enough defending unit, and that's again probably is a reason why you've got your defence stat quite low. Leopards, I mean, yes, upgrade it as a fob unit, so obviously have a look at that, but I would obviously massively concentrate every effort on getting this Centurion absolutely maxed. I think that would be the first thing I would look at. And E-skims as well, obviously, I think it's the next one. But just go back to a bit more basics. Everybody often goes for this next unit up and misses the unit before it, definitely get that Centurion maxed up. Keep obviously going with the E-skims, but again, it's all got to be about the tech. Unless it's maxed, it ain't good enough. I never even think of using one until it's absolutely maxed, or certainly thereabouts. I say Grizzly at your level has gone. Forget it. It's done what it needed to do. It's a CC 8, CC 9 unit at best. And that's what I was looking at there. So a Dragoon, I use them a lot in Valk drop. Because I drop the Valk, these guys run forward and they're absolutely superb, but I wouldn't use them any other time at all. The one you've missed as a defensive unit is the Ghost. The Ghost is absolutely killer as a defense unit until Spartan comes along. Having maxed both Ghost and Dragoon, myself, I would not use Dragoon as a defensive unit. I thought I would, but I haven't. Wastebin proved me right on that, or proved himself right on that. And really, Ghost is a much better defensive unit. So I would again stop the direction of travel and rewind a bit, and then go for Ghost and get that absolute max to level 15 and put that as your defensive unit. In the meantime, Dragoon is probably better than Sentinel in defense, but nothing beats the Ghost as a defense unit. Okay, so again, I would stop upgrading your Dragoon for now. Now I think where we need to have a little look is, let's go and have a look at your base. Now, when you've got obviously your troops coming out of your barracks, that having that set over there is absolutely fine. That works really well. Now, if this is the shortest distance into your base, then that's fine. Maybe push your war factory a little bit more behind the CC. I think that would be better. I don't think really a machine gun is going to be an effective, a defense weapon. I mean, if you're using Centurions and things like that, it's really not going to bother you. You've got a SAM here. I mean, look, you've got your bases of your turrets all upgraded massively, but the weapons on top of them aren't. I mean, Christ, I'm CC 10, and I've got obviously a level 7 SAMs. If you're CC 11, you should have level 8 SAMs. Probably don't really need flak at this level, but you've got one SAM. That's it. I've got 3, which is making my defence a lot better. I've got obviously my SAMs in a particular place, so that when the F-35 comes in, that picks them up. Now, if I'm sending the F-35 in here, I've probably flown halfway through your base before that SAM picks us up. And there's only one of them, and it's not even solo boosted. You're sharing that with a flak, so that's probably going to be on 35%. Whereas on my base, it's I've got obviously a higher level SAM, but it's obviously single solo boosted, so that's going to be pushing out to 70%. So that's far better. Now you need to be thinking about how your turrets work. So if I'm coming at you on this base here, I've probably destroyed half of your base, fucking almost all of your base, before a turret even knows I'm fucking there. I mean, what the fuck's going on? I mean, you could come in here, you could take probably that the barracks, and maybe if you're lucky that salvo's going to pick you up, but salvos aren't really going to cause most players most problems. You've got 3 turrets over here, 4 turrets over here, 5 turrets over here. I mean, unless obviously I'm coming at you this way, these turrets aren't even going to fucking know I'm there. And that means that by then I've already taken out your war factory, I've already taken out your garage, I've probably already taken out your helipad, your 3 main, strongest defensive units. And it's like, you're protecting your barracks here as if it's like the fucking crown jewels. And to be honest, it's not. I mean, again, you know, I don't mind the you know, this being over here. To be fair, that's absolutely fine. But I mean, it probably should have been level 7, but keep it level 6. To be fair, I don't know, or is it level 9? No, I think it's level 6. Could be wrong, but again, it's quite a long way out of the way, which is fine. There's no issue with that. But you know, literally all of your base over here is protected and defended by fuck all. You know, so there's no wonder your defense levels you know, low. You're just not thinking about how our attackers you know, gonna work. I would just look at your base, and say, right, okay, that's the fucking hard bit. I'm fucked if I'm coming at you from that angle. I'll come at you from this angle. I've probably fucked you up before your turrets even you know, kind of work. And then, like say, you know, you look at that and combine that with the defense that you've got. So you know, after what, 16 seconds, a grizzly's gonna come out. Ooh, I'm scared. No, not at all. You want really after a few seconds a centurion coming out, put me on the back foot. You want obviously E-skims coming out, but I've probably already airstriked them or took them out because your turrets aren't picking us up. So you really need to have a little look. I mean, this is just you know, a fucking car crash of a base you know, defense. It really is, and I think you need to be told that because there's no strategy. It's just like, where do I put everything? It's like I've eaten your base and then just thrown up on the map, and that's, you know, wherever it landed is where you've put it. There's no strategy. There's no defensive sort of you know, setup. You know, the closest you've got to any sort of you know, sense in this is that your war factory is hidden behind the CC. I could probably still airstrike it. You know, and maybe if I'm lucky, the heavy flak might you know, cause me a little bit of injury on my way out. You know, where is your 3 level SAMs, or sorry, your level 7 SAMs, you know, times 2 or 3 at least, solo boosted. Really need to start having to think about this base layout. So you know, crew to be kind, I think that's probably fair. That's what the GC is all about. It's called the Game Changer for a reason. This is what you need to be looking at. So I want you to go back to basics. I want you to start looking at somebody else's base setup and strategy, and have a look at why they are doing you know, far better. But hopefully you'll see through my eyes why that is. You know, that your base just isn't cutting it from a defensive you know, point of view. All right, my man, take care.